Well, a local boy, from what I understand, he's from Maharashtra, from Ratnagiri. His links are from here, but he was born and brought up in UK. Dr. Ashraf Mahate, it's my pleasure to welcome you on stage. He is the head of Export Market Intelligence of the Dubai Export Development Corporation and vice chair of the Economic Policy Commission of Dubai Department of Economic Development. May I please invite you on stage? His perspective is an important one. Dubai is looking at inviting investments, people who want to come there and export, and also help Dubai-based companies to export. He's a trained economist, so I'll let him speak, post which we'll do a quick Q&A. Over to you, Dr. Mahate.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. I hope I can live up to the build-up. Now, this morning I've got a number of slides. What I'll do is, I'll try to go through as many as I can, but I actually want the session to be very interactive. Okay. I actually want the session to be very interactive, so if you have questions, please raise your hand and I'll be quite happy to take them at any point during the presentation. Now, what I really want to talk about this morning is the idea about sourcing and re-exporting from Dubai. Now, from an organizational perspective, I'm actually, as our kind moderator mentioned, I'm from Dubai Exports. We are a government organization. We actually help companies from the UAE export into foreign markets. At the same time, we actually help foreign companies import from the UAE. So we actually try to bring two parties together. That is what we see our role as. We actually were only established in 2006. Since 2006, we've actually built a great set of achievements. In 2010, we were voted as the top 5 trade promotion agencies globally. In 2012, we were top 3. And this year, we are the first Middle Eastern country to actually host the International Trade Commission, part of the World Trade Organization conference, which takes place every 2 years. Now, talking about exports, most people think the UAE is only an oil-producing country. What I actually want to do today is dispel some of these myths. The UAE is not only an oil-producing country. We do caviar, we do eggs, we do donuts. Okay? Try to think of a product that we do not do. And our stand 8A, we can actually help you source these products. Currently, what do we see? Currently, we see a lot of exports taking place in the Middle East region, the 18 Arab countries, Asia, etc. This includes oil as well. What we see is in 3 years' time, by 2017, the dark orange patches is where the trade will actually increase. So we see tremendous potential in actually countries such as India, and that is why 2 days ago we opened a Mumbai office. In fact, our first office was established in Delhi, and our first international exhibition was in Delhi. Since then, we have now actually established the office in Mumbai, in Nariman Point. Now, as I mentioned, yes, oil actually is important to the UAE, but if we move away from oil, what do we see? We also see a tremendous importance of food and beverages. That's one of the reasons why we're actually here today. Our idea about being here today is to promote our processed food sector. We've got a thriving processed food sector. We also have associated industries to process foods. For example, packaging. We have also marketing services. We have base metals, which are very important for canning, of course. So a whole range of different products, which are all non-oil based. In terms of exports, Dubai's exports have actually been increasing over time. But what is really important, its importance as a re-export center. Now, this is the beautiful thing about Dubai. You don't need to go to Africa to source products. You don't need to go to Iran to source pistachios. Dubai is the world's 3rd largest re-export center. As the world's 3rd largest re-export center, what we find is that the world comes to Dubai to use Dubai as a base to source and then also to re-export. Okay? In terms of our major exports, gold and jewelry is very, very important. We find that also base metals, as I mentioned. Who are our major trading partners? India. 1/3 of our exports are with India. In fact, over 1/3, 36%. India is a very, very important trading partner. And again, if all of you who've been to Dubai, you'll see there is the cultural similarity of doing business in India and doing business in Dubai is very, very similar. You've got a lot of connectivity, but the amazing thing is that few people who are actually exporting from Dubai to India and the few people who are actually sourcing. 2 days ago, we had a meeting with one of the prominent retail groups. They said 5 years ago they were importing nothing from Dubai. Now they're looking to import something in the region of 5 billion rupees worth from India. So actually, through our work, what we actually tend to find is that people are increasing the level of imports. Throughout the world, we expect over the next 4 years our exports to increase. Okay? Most prominently in Africa, in Asia, in South America. Now again, there are very good reasons as to why this should be the case. We've got over 79 flights a week to Africa. We're highly connected to Central Asia. We even have direct flights to South America. This is very, very important if you're in the food business, because you need products, perishable products, to go from one part of the world to another part of the world in a costless manner, in an efficient manner, with very few rigidities. A survey was done by HSBC and Oxford Economics, and what they actually forecast is that the exports from the UAE are predicted to grow by 9.4% over the next 3 years, and imports by 10%. Now, what does this really mean? This really means that Dubai is a major export center. We were 33rd about 17 years ago in the world rankings. Today, we're 23rd. We've improved tremendously. In terms of imports, we're also a major importing center. One of the things that few people do not understand is that Dubai actually has very few natural resources apart from oil. So we need to import, add value, and then export these products. So that's why imports are very, very important, as well as exports. Now, in terms of India, what is our role in India? If I include oil, and currently the UAE is actually exporting 3 million barrels a day. At today's prices, it's a lot of money. So therefore, it's no surprise to see that if we include oil, Japan is our #1 trading partner. But by 2030, including oil, okay, bearing in mind that India does not buy oil from UAE, India will be the #1 trade partner. This is based on Oxford Economics projections, along with HSBC Global. Okay? This tells you the importance of India as a trade partner. And again, I'm sure next week, my colleague Mohammed Kamali and I, we are going to be part of the UAE-India trade partnership, where we're actually talking about enhancing trade relationships. And there is a free trade agreement, well, initial discussions of one, between India and the GCC. This we see will play another important role in benefiting the trade relationships between the two countries. In terms of India, our main exports are actually 87% are in gold and diamonds, and mainly to one of the regions of India called Gujarat. We have a tremendous trade with Gujarat. Now, this is actually a food and beverage show. So what is our role in food and beverage? Now, over the next 2 slides, what I actually want to talk about is some of our capabilities, because most people assume that Dubai is, of course, all about the tallest tower in the world, the world's largest firework display. No, it actually is also a manufacturing sector, okay? And most prominently in food and beverages. So I want to give you some of the idea about our capabilities, so you have an idea as what you can source, the kind of companies you can work with, and also the kind of partnerships you can have in terms of re-exports. Starting off with fisheries, it's amazing to note we actually export fish. Not only fish, let's start off with the high end, caviar. We have the world's largest, because I told you, Dubai, largest, biggest, brightest. We have the world's largest caviar manufacturing farm. It's a caviar farm, and we produce caviar. It's called Royal Caviar, and it's sold globally. Now, why is this important? This is important because it means we can have consistent quality of caviar throughout the year. It doesn't mean that we are not reliant on the Caspian Sea, which has seasonal variations, seasonal prices. We do caviar. We have fish farms, sea bass, sea bream. Okay? We also, from next year, we're going to be exporting salmon. Okay? So we don't looking at Norwegian salmon or Scottish salmon. We're actually going to be doing salmon from Dubai or the UAE. We also have natural fish like hummer, etc. And we have a great business in terms of importing cream doris. They call it bursa. It's the big Vietnamese fish. We process it, we make it into fish fingers or fish cakes, and we export it to US. In fact, that's our one of our big exports to the US is fish and prawns. So we have a thriving fishery industry. Okay? Eggs. This morning I was talking to one of the companies that we actually were the largest regional exporter of eggs. And they said, well, eggs? Yes. We have eggs, we wash them, we crack them, we pasteurize them, and they're sold in big drums to the catering industry, to the manufacturing industry. They can be used for baking, they can be used for making bread. Okay? In that, we do vast amounts. We have processed meat. We have a large industry that imports meat from Australia, from New Zealand. We process it, and then again, we export it. In terms of crops, we don't actually grow any crops. But having said that, a lot of investment is taking place in the UAE in hydroponics. Hydroponics is a water-efficient way of growing fruit and vegetables. And as a result of this, if I said to you, what do you think we grow and export? Strawberries, right? We are the largest, UAE is the second largest exporter of strawberries in the Middle East. Okay? Now, this is just one example of things that we do grow. And because of the food security concerns in the UAE, and all GCC countries have the food security issues, there's a greater investment in agriculture, but environmentally friendly agriculture. Agriculture that does not reduce the water tablet. We do, of course, various different cheeses, breads. We export 6 containers of donuts a week to Saudi Arabia. These are ready-to-eat donuts, frozen, ready-to-eat donuts. You defrost them, and then you sell them in the shopping malls or in, okay? This tells you the variety and the complexity of our food and beverage manufacturing sector, okay? Of course, vegetable oil is one of our main exports. We've got vast companies doing vegetable oil exports. Pasta is a very stable dish. Now, in pasta, or things like pasta, we've got the bulk products, non-branded, the medium quality, and then we do very niche products as well. Okay? In terms of food service, our food service sectors are now being exported. The largest Middle Eastern chain of restaurants in France is from UAE. It's called Al Farouj Shawarmas. The largest chain, over 100 branches in the UK, is just falafel, okay, from the UK. So we've got another one called Shawarma Twist, okay, which is another food service chain that's seeking to go international. So we've got Middle Eastern-based food service companies which are going global. And now one of the things I've noticed while I've been in India is that the palates are changing. People have had Chinese food for hundreds of years. They've had Thai food. They want new cuisine, interesting cuisine. And this is where Dubai plays a unique role. We have a country with over 130 different nationalities. So we have cuisines and processed foods that seek to cater for over 130 different nationalities. And again, we have different retail formats. Moving into what are our main exports, again, as I mentioned, we do a lot of confectionery. One of the beautiful things about confectionery is that we have got unique confectionery that you'll never find anywhere else in the world. If you come to our stand, you will see camel milk chocolate. Okay? Now you're going to say, what's so special about camel milk chocolate? It's better for you. It also has properties that improve digestion, and it has fewer calories. No other country produces camel milk chocolate. We have chocolate with dates. We also do, in fact, quite amazing things with dates. Other important exports, We are the world's largest re-export center for fruits and vegetables. Over $1 billion worth of fruits and vegetables are re-exported from Dubai. So they come from Kenya, Zimbabwe, South Africa, even as far as Chile in South America, because we have daily flights. And they come in special containers, and then they get re-exported into Central Asia. We also have it from Asia. So that's why we have a thriving market. And because with fresh vegetables and fruits, these are perishable products, logistics is the key. We have an airline that flies to 135 destinations, which makes the re-exports of fruits and vegetables an efficient concept and a viable concept. Also, in terms of sourcing, we actually find that people from the region actually come to Dubai to source fresh vegetables and fruits because they don't need to go to Chile, they don't need to go to Brazil to get guana, right? Guana is available in Dubai, okay? In terms of our products, what we actually do, 11% is seafoods, about 20% are animal-based products, milk and dairy. We have over 20 varieties of dates. Okay, we do a lot of things with dates, date juices, date jams, date-based biscuits. Okay. In terms of the food and beverage sector, again, if you have questions, please raise your hand, and I'm quite free to take them at any time. In terms of food and beverages sector, I don't want to go through each of the categories, but just to mention that we have the whole spectrum from fruit and vegetables, meat processing, dairies, seafood processing, but we also have support industries. One of the things we find now is packaging is important. If you want to do customer switching or brand switching, packaging is very, very important. We have now got industries which are specialized in food packaging, food marketing, food branding, food logistics. Okay? We also do associated things, canning, producing cans, producing tops. In front of you, you've got the bottles of water. We've got the caps. They come from Dubai in a lot of cases. We make the PET bottles. Some of these companies are the ones that we're actually representing here. These are companies all looking for exports, dairy products, meat, sugar. We have the world's largest independent sugar refinery. Okay? And we don't actually have any sugar grown in the country, or sugar cane. We actually import, add value, and re-export, again, with confectionery. Now, one of the markets that we are expanding is halal foods. Okay? In India, I believe there are 120 million Muslims is a huge segment, but our halal products are not just for Muslims. They're for global. Okay? We don't only want to target the Muslim population, but the whole market. And one of the things we find is that we've got the certification, the standards, the halal branding that allows you to source from Dubai and capture global markets. One of the interesting things we have noticed is that halal products are available in other countries, but when they see the Arabic writing, a consumer in this part of the world automatically assumes that it's more halal than a non-Muslim country. And we've actually found that a lot of consumers buy products with Arabic writing, and this is where the brand switching concept happens. Organic, we are very strong in some segments of organic, like organic honey, of course dates, certain aspects such as coffee. Okay? Now, I mentioned 2 days ago, we established the Dubai Exports Office in India. The idea behind this office is to help firms in India understand what is available in the UAE. Google produced a report that in September last year that 60% of SMEs do not have a website. Even today, it was 2013, 60% of SMEs do not have a website. So how do you source the products when you can't identify them on the internet? And this is what the Dubai Exports Office will do. Because 98.5% of the businesses in the UAE are actually SMEs, we want to help you source from these SMEs, be able to connect with them. We hope to overcome what we call the geographical psychology, the idea that you don't want to go beyond the zones that you're comfortable with, okay? And hopefully, with working through the Dubai Exports, Mumbai office, you'll be able to source from Dubai. Now, we've got 3 stages of assistance. Before the meeting, we actually give you information about companies. We do capability reports. We produce a customized visit program. We do a B2B matchmaking. We also, if you register with us, give you visibility to our firms. And all of these services are for free. We do not charge either the exporter, we do not even charge the importer. Okay? We also help you with visas. Okay? During your stay in Dubai, you have usage of our offices. We have dedicated meeting rooms. You can use them for free. We take you to visits to clusters such as Jabal Ali Free Zone, Media City. We have 22 business clusters or special economic zones. Okay? We also allow you to have connectivity with government departments. You can understand the processes and procedures. After your visit, we don't just say goodbye, have a nice trip back to India. We do follow-on activities. We help you with certification, with verification, freight forwarding, and also with documentation. That's the sourcing part. Now we move to the re-exporting part. Why you should consider taking your exporting business to Dubai and using Dubai as a re-export center because of the wonderful location of Dubai. Okay? Dubai has been extremely efficient in bringing buyers and sellers together. Walking through the streets of Dubai, it's amazing. You find people from Senegal and people from Uzbekistan coming to Dubai to source products. And as a result of this, Dubai has been extremely efficient in what we call driving cost advantages through economies of scale and supply chain efficiencies. In terms of ease of doing business, you can set up a business in Dubai using your mobile phone application. Okay? That's how easy it is. And you can do that in one day. Okay? If you want visas, we have an agency, our sister agency called Dubai FDI, Foreign Direct Investment, that helps you set up in the country. Excellent infrastructure. We've got Dubai World Central, where you can take goods from sea to air to sea in 45 minutes. Why is this important? Because if you want to export to a landlocked country such as Kazakhstan, you bring your products, they go by air to Kazakhstan on the same day in most cases. Okay? We have, as I told you, 79 daily flights to the African continent. How else do you get such logistics? Okay? We have the world's 6th largest seaport, 3rd largest port management company. We have dedicated plug-and-play warehousing facilities. Again, foreign companies we have 2 airports, of course, a wonderful logistics center that helps this. In terms of re-exports, we also have the idea that we have no taxation. Now, one of the surveys or studies that have been done, it shows that a normal firm spends about 20% of its administration cost in terms of meeting regulatory taxation burdens. The awful 3-letter word that ends with X, okay? Which we don't want to worry about. In Dubai, you don't have to worry about it. Business is very easy. There is no tax. There's no corporate tax. There's no personal tax, okay? There's no income tax. There's no capital gains tax. There's no inheritance tax, okay? It's a wonderful place to live. Customs duties for all products, standard 5%. In fact, food and beverage, in many cases, is 0%. Okay? You can also apply, if your product is used for manufacturing purposes, to get duty exemptions. The only 3 products have real customs duty. One of them is pork, which is 100%. Second one is alcohol, which is 50%. And third one is tobacco, which is 50%. Okay? And tobacco is going to increase to 100% and soon to 200%, purely for health reasons, not for any revenue generation purposes. Just a couple more slides. Dubai or the UAE offers 100% repatriation of capital, very stable economy. The UAE is part of the GCC Customs Union, which has signed a number of free trade agreements. First one itself is with the GCC countries, the Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, UAE. Which one have I missed out? Kuwait, right. Okay, 6 of them. And then they've signed one with the Greater Arab Free Trade Agreement, which is 18 Arab countries plus 3 observer nations. Okay, that's 21 countries you can export to without import duties and trade facilitation harmonization. So the certification of one country is accepted in another. In addition to this, the bilateral agreements with Morocco, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan. In addition to this, they've signed a free trade agreement with Singapore, another free trade agreement with EFTA, which is Liechtenstein, Norway, Iceland, and Switzerland. And there are 22 more free trade agreements under discussion, which covers 78% of UAE's trade. So hopefully, the idea is, once these free trade agreements have been signed, there will more than 80% of trade of the UAE will be without custom duties, okay? Which again makes it very important for you to be based there. Just a last thing, we also have certain facilities for our members. One of them is if you're based in the UAE, you can be part of something called a subcontracting partnership, where large companies post details of their contracts for BPO, okay? And this is a UNIDO project, and we actually manage it for the UAE. Okay, I think I'll stop there, and I'll take questions.
Thanks, Dr. Ashraf. Very quickly, if anybody has a question in the audience, I just need to set the stage by asking you a couple of points that you said. So in terms of having set up the India office, what kind of channelization have you seen? I mean, is it an effective way of attracting investment? Because that will show the familiarity of this kind of service offering.
Right. See, actually, our idea of setting up an India office is 2 things. Firstly, to encourage firms in India to source from UAE, and secondly, to encourage re-export or investment for export. Because the UAE itself is only 8 million people, so it's not a large market as such. You really want to use or synergize on the geographical position of the UAE as well as the logistics to go to a market that 4 hours traveling time is 2 billion people. 2 billion people with a high personal disposable income. Now, in terms of what have we seen here, we've actually seen here in Mumbai, our strategy is 3 parts. A, creating awareness. We want people to understand that Dubai is not just a tourist destination. It's not just about the world's tallest buildings, not just about fireworks and shopping festivals. It's a place that's got a diversified market, manufacturing sector, a service sector. It's a place that you can actually do business with. Secondly, we want to do conversion. We want to encourage more and more business and trade between UAE and India. And the third part, of course, is the actual implementation. We want to encourage Indian firms to use Dubai as their base. So we actually got 3 phases. And what are the challenges that we see? Well, the challenges that we see is that India is a very large country, right? We cannot tap into all the different states, all the different regions. So our strategy is very focused into Mumbai being the commercial hub. We'll use Mumbai. We're working with partners such as the Indo-Arab Chamber of Commerce, the Indian Merchants Chamber, etc., to use their networks to tap into the wider market.
One quick question, given that this industry is nascent, this food and grocery, the modern retail aspect of the food and grocery is still very nascent, looking at the larger potential of it. Does the Dubai Authority also provide some entrepreneurial guidance in terms of financial guidance, financial support, funding? Because sometimes an entrepreneur might have an idea and sees Dubai as an attractive manufacturing base, but may not have the funding requirement.
Now, see, the whole idea, each of the Arab countries adopts a different strategy. One strategy, of course, is to throw money and assume that firms come in. But then this has a negative impact that firms base the subsidy or the financial incentive into their cost structure. And this means that the products may not be long-term competitive. Our aim is not just to attract a firm for that short period in which the financial incentive is provided, but to create the avenue for business to take place. So our focus is very much on creating excellent infrastructure, which reduces your costs ultimately. If I can take my product from C to A in 45 minutes, I am more competitive than all my other for example,
I meant more from a funding availability, not like financial incentive.
Okay. In terms of funding available, we do have certain schemes based on the importance of the sector and based also on what it will do for the economy. We also, in terms of funding, we do what we call peripheral funding. For example, we have export credit insurance. We are also now working on creating export guarantees. These are the kind of things that we think are more important.
All right. Anyone with any question? Otherwise, I'll wrap up from on a Dubai India trade format and also setting up export base or re-export base out of Dubai. All right, Dr. Ashraf, thank you so very much. Thanks for being here and thanks for coming back to India.